how many of us know that who has set up the first innovative cell in IIT? It's none other than Major Rajprasad RS. So I wanted to ask you, my first question to you, how do you see that such kind of innovations after your establishment of the first cell in the in the IIT? How do you see that it is transforming into the several other IITs now?
Jai Hind, first of all, a very good afternoon to one and all present here. I would like to give a brief introduction about myself. I am Major Raj Prasad from the Indian Army and I belong to the Corps of Engineers, the 7th Engineer Regiment. So the question that she had asked pertaining to Indian Army cell, I will give a brief background on what is the importance of that. So I joined the Indian Army after doing my BTech and MTech. I have been a student just like you who have gone through the way and I am now in the uniform. So Indian Army, as you all know, one of the most elite armies in the world is looking at technology transformation, modernization and whatever is required to infuse technology into battlefield. All those efforts are being undertaken in massive way. So it's not about just having combatants in the army. We are techno warriors who are in the army today. I believe you have the basic awareness of what are the different type of arms Indian Army has. Apart from the infantry and the armored that most of you would be aware, we have different technical arms like the Corps of Engineers, the Corps of Signals. We have Center of Excellence for Artificial Intelligence, Quantum Computing. We have the Corps of EME, Electrical and Mechanical Engineers. As you know, Indian Army has a vast inventory of equipment, be it weapon systems, be it your radars, be it your communication systems. We have lakhs and lakhs of equipment. So, using the equipment, training on them, maintaining these equipments in battlefield is a massive task. So, you require technical people to operate all this, right? So first of all, I would like to ask a simple question. How many of you here, the youngsters behind the future generation, would like to join the armed forces? Anyone from NCC? That's good. So this is all for you. That right? Indian Army has a lot of technical arms, and we are looking at technically qualified people to join the forces. To use the best of the best equipments, the niche technologies that we all have been talking since morning, be it AI, be it quantum computing, be it the cutting edge weapon systems, right? So with that thought, while I did my BTech and MTech and I was passionate towards research and development, there was a time Indian Army gave the tagline, Year of Modernization. So then understanding what is that Indian Army is looking at, modernization, you understand these are not just jargons being spelled out, they mean a lot. So that was a time that I realized that we have technical entries in the Indian Army, that we have technical entry scheme, the technical graduate course. So I applied through UPSC and got selected. I did my pre-commissioning training from the Indian Military Academy at DRDO. And I was commissioned into one of the technical arms of Indian Army called the Corps of Engineers. So having come into Corps of Engineers, we realized that we have a major task of mobility, counter mobility and survivability to ensure a mobility of the forces. So we are the first one to get to the battlefield, create mobility tasks so that the other forces other arms can follow up. So we found that a lot of technology is actually involved in our tasks, and we also required a lot of new technologies to come in. So found a lot of gaps where as an innovator I can contribute. So because research and development was a passion for me, I had already developed certain technologies which were more civil oriented. But then after joining the army, started developing certain technologies that could solve our real time problem statements that we have in the front line. So that way I've developed around 12 innovations till now.
And 4 of them are...
And of which 4 are inducted in the army today. So that is the prelude. Indian Army cell, maybe I will give it a subsequent question, because that's a subset of the efforts that we are undertaking for research and development.
you have been developing an unmanned vehicle, and my colleague has seen you putting all nuts and bolts and everything. How do you, what do you have to say about that? I mean, it's very thrilling to know that a person like at your stature doing all the nuts and bolts. What is your take on that?
So this was an opportunity that I got while I was posted as instructor in College of Military Engineering at Pune. That I started establishing a research and development center in the sidelines. That after my routine office work, I took some time to start developing innovations. Established a center of excellence in CME Pune initially. We call it the Sarvatra Center of Research and Innovation. So that was aimed that the important critical problem statements that we find in real time. Some of them, like you have spelled, mine warfare. Demining is an important task world over. Even today, the mines that have been put 40, 50 years back, we are buying casualties now. So how do we identify them? Do we actually have, do we want to expend manpower who go prod the soil, then come under the mines, and do we want that to happen? In all Parakram, we had large number of casualty breaching our own minefield. So all these real problem statements, we wanted to find some technological solutions to that. So then I developed a unmanned mine detection UGV, unmanned ground vehicle, that can go ahead of the troops, detect the mines, mark the mines, and then we neutralize it physically. So this has been a game-changing problem statement that we started initially. Then we worked on a wireless electronic detonation system, because detonation is an important activity that we do for blasting targets. So developed something called electronic detonation system. From a range of 2.5 kilometers, we can blast targets. We have a patent for it, and then we have now inducted it in Indian Army.
From R&D coming on to transfer of technology, what's your take on it? How convenient or how feasible that's it, especially in the Indian Army?
See, I believe I'll set the stage with an important thing. And like you're now seeing the strategic importance that our country is focusing on. It is like we have been spelling the jargons, Atmanirbharta, Viksit Bharat. All this is oriented towards the technology, improving the technological capability of India. Right. Today you have a drone, but there are various sub-components of a drone, which we are dependent on other players. We as a country cannot be just integrators and assemblers and of making a product. We have to make the system from chip to system to become real Atmanirbharta means that. Right. So, having developed 12 innovations, we thought it is the right time that the startup and industry ecosystem should be empowered to mass produce this so that we can buy it back. So, we created a TOT model wherein such innovation, after extensive field trials, that we validated it and we ensured that, okay, this is the right time we can induct it. The TOT has been given to the players. On competitive basis, they are selected and they mass produce it. So now if you see the spin-offs that these TOT give back to the government, apart from the revenue that is generated, that is one part. Number two is the manufacturing capability that gets built within the country. The number of people who gets employed to mass produce this, right? The technology upgradation is within our realms. So all this is happening. So this is the actual example of what Atmanirbharta or indigenization is. So we have established that 4 innovations last 1 year, we have transferred it to industry and we have already inducted them in the army.
We've recently seen that, the rule of the war has changed now. It's more on a technology side rather than on, being a typical war that we used to imagine. So how do you, how do you tell to the students of today that, technology is really important for the nation building and for the country to progress?
Gentlemen, you all are privy to this. Technology, initially, those days, if you say, well, 50, 100 years back, technology, the best of the best technology used to evolve from wars. It was from the military that technologies used to evolve and come into the civil domain. But today it has become more of the other way out. Technologies are being developed by the civil ecosystem and then it is being tested in battlefield. With the changing dynamics of war that is going around and you are observing, it is a long fronted war that's happening, and technology is being tested in battlefield, right? Be it drones, be it your counter drone systems, be it unmanned ground vehicles, all these, the conventional way that we have been fighting battle is changing and it is going more towards a kind of a mixed warfare, right? So technology is at its front. The first one who applies his technology to surprise the enemy is going to win the battle, right? So with that, we are on a mission mode to develop technologies, involve all stakeholders, be it the academia, be it the industry, be it the startup ecosystem, or even within the army, we have in-house innovators. Like I'm one of the service innovator. We have a team of officers who are highly qualified and who are experts, domain experts in the respective fields. They all are working together. We have R&D schemes the government of India has launched. I don't know how many of them are aware. The IDEX scheme by the MOD, even apart from industries and startups participating, even individuals can participate. We have opened Army Technology Board scheme. It's a R&D fund where IITs, academic institutions, universities, they can participate for developing technologies for the Indian Army. So I take this opportunity to briefly introduce about that. The Army Design Bureau, there is an organization called Army Design Bureau, which Indian Army has established in the year 2015-16, basically to act as a single point interface between Indian Army and the R&D verticals. R&D verticals, academia, industry, startup and the DRDO. So we wanted to have a multi-stakeholder approach. So what we do is every year we launch something called as the Compendium of Problem Definition Statement. It's a book. You can all go to Indian Army's web page and you can download it. So the book is prepared in a very concise, precise manner with brevity and clarity that any even a student of a school can actually read it and understand what is the requirement Indian Army has in different domains. We have we have segregated the problem statements in different domains, be it AI, quantum, blockchain, unmanned vehicles, weapons, ammunitions. So everyone can understand it in simple language, and if they have a proposal that they wanted to work, they can apply. Indian Army is also planning to launch Army Academia Seminar in the month of September. The curtain raiser has already been completed. I would request you all to please visit the Indian Army's webpage, and if you have really good proposals that your institutions want to apply, please do apply. This is an opportunity where you can also contribute to us.
So you closely associated with IDEX. I mean, I've heard you at the Defense Conclave also. How many young students or the young startups are coming to you and explaining their technology and their thing? Do you think that some more push is needed by the government as far as the startups are concerned?
See, as I rightly said, the government has set the vision. Atmanirbharta, Viksit Bharat. It is simple and clear. The timelines have been put. The schemes have been launched. IDEX, Army Technology Board, MAKE. I am telling just the defense innovation schemes. If you go to what DST is doing, Department of Science and Technology has been given 20,000 crores to pursue research and development in this financial year. Right. So having all this being said at the executive level, at the functional level, we are the people. When I say we, including me, I consider myself amongst you, we innovators, academic professionals, startups, industry, we are the key drivers to make it happen, right? So initially, while I was in the Sarvatra Center of Research and Innovation in CME, I was handpicked by Army Design Bureau to establish, initially find out what are the areas where we need to improve. We're all learning and improving, reinforced improvement is happening. So we found one thing that we need to get closer to the R&D verticals. People think that service personnel, we are a bit, there was a bit of gap. So I said, okay, let me then sit with the R&D verticals. So I established my first office, the Indian Army cell at IIT Delhi. I took a small space there. I sat there. Half a day I used to be in Army headquarters, and half a day I used to sit with the R&D verticals. The basic aim is you should be focused in research and development. The procedural aspects, hand-holding you, fostering the R&D ecosystem, with understanding the requirements of army, we will do it. So you'll not believe IIT Delhi, the nearest IIT Delhi, IIT here to the army headquarters, we had just one army technology board project before the Indian Army Cell was established. Within 3 years, we expanded to more than 24 R&D projects, just army technology board projects, everything on core technology development. Because see, academia has its own challenges. Every professor there is expert, a domain expert in a particular field. But with them, can we develop a whole of a system? That might be a challenge. So whether to expect technology development from them or a product development, we need to have our own, understanding. We have ensured that even for technology development, we have funded them and we have made a collaborative approach where academia and startup sit together, collaborate together and develop a product. Maybe from technology readiness level, we call it TRL. From 0 to 5, let the professor develop it. From where on, they can collaborate with a startup or an industry and make it a product. So that has been done.
We heard Mr. Shashi Tharoor in the morning about brain drain. And he has cited an example of an IIT Indore student who refused all those scholarships offered to him by the foreign universities. You've been talking to students very oftenly. Do you see that, the brain drain issue needs to be answered or catered really well by the government or by the concerned people?
See, I don't foresee myself far off from the Gen Z generation. I'm stuck between the Gen Z and the older generation. But see, it has been during our time also, right? Because I wanted to pursue my masters abroad, but then I took a sound call that what is the difference of doing things there and here, and how can we make it valuable even while studying here. So the most important thing that I find is the research and development R&D ecosystem out there is far better. While we are also trying to catch up, now we are trying to launch all these kind of schemes. We are funding them. We are funding them to procure the best of the best equipments. We are launching Center of Excellences. DRDO has established their Center of Excellence in all IITs. Department of Science and Technology has launched 26 technology clusters in all the IITs and ISCs, right? So all said and done, there are three important key drivers that is required to make the system better. One is the infrastructure. People have been saying we need infrastructure to undertake research and development. Agreed. Number two is the talent and skill. So that is the entire thing what the new education policy is talking about. We have to upgrade ourselves from the marks and just ratto attitude that we'll just have to just learn things blindly. So we have to understand where are we going to apply it. The practical experience oriented learning, that is something that we need to start imbibing in our teaching methodology, which is being done now. Number two is that is what is going to lead to skill based learning and talent based learning. We need to nurture them and foster them, create an ecosystem for them to grow in a particular domain and become a domain expert. Number three is retaining talent, which is what is being spoken, for which I think we need to create an ecosystem, create good incentives for be it research scholars to retain in the country. Just an example, while MBBS and MD doctors, after they complete their degree, 1 year mandatory training is being given, mandatory training and practice is being given in any of the rural hospitals.
Yeah.
Why cannot we apply that to the IITs? The IITians, the best of the best minds, studying in premier institutions completely funded by the government. After their BTech and MTech, why cannot we put them, harness their potential for a year or two in the top DPSUs of the country? We can do it. So it's all about that HR management, how talent pooling and skill management could be undertaken. If that is righteously done, I think we will be able to do. Not just IITs, it should be open for all the institutions. I am from a state college, engineering college. I've done my BTech and MTech from College of Engineering, and I'm able to contribute. So we all can do. and it is the mindset, it is the attitude, it is the attitude of the entire ecosystem that has to now come together.
We have heard a lot of speakers today since morning that, the examinations should be, you should not be there at all because it's just a measurement skill, nothing else. And you are also pointing it out that, uh, skill development should be our focus and not the examination. So do you think, in your experience, universities and colleges should go away with the examination?
During our time, it used to be like 80% we have to, our marks, written examination is being considered, and 20% is, 10% is your project work, and 10% is your other, internal marks and all that. Right? I think it should go a bit different. Yes, written examination is definitely required, because I now see that, during our time, we used to get a blueprint and suggested authors. We used to spend a lot of time in the library studying. I don't know how much students today are sitting in library, visiting library, analyzing things, and because when you read 5 author books of a particular topic, you get different perspective, right? And then you analyze where you can apply. That is one thing. Number 2, what I could recommend is that project work, development of something, innovation or whatever it is, that should be extracurricular, co-curricular activity should be given more percentage, and you can have equal percentage for written examination. That is something. Number 2, start encouraging students to choose a particular domain where they want to specialize of their interest, and start evaluating them in that particular thing. Something like, someone wants to become an expert in a particular electrical engineering, for example. I'm just telling a name. You can ask them to go for in-plant training, internships in those related fields, undertake courses in that particular domain, so that his development curve is being monitored. Something of that sort, if we could do, I think that would set the stage for skill-based development, domain experts to come up in the country.
So many of the students that we having here, many of them are not part of NCC anymore. How do you tell the students of today's to go for NCC and serve the nation?
So one of the session that we had today was ethics and values. I still remember in our school days, 2 important periods, which is PT period and moral science period. This is left, for other teachers to take off. The maths teacher will come, and we would just be happy that moral science teacher aa gaya, abhi PT period hai. The maths teacher will be standing there, abhi subject syllabus khatam hua nahi, let me take that period. That used to be the norm during my time, and we used to be like, oh my God, it's done. And hafte mein ek baar aata hai, that period. So I think, see, it's very important. It is essential, as people have been telling, eminent speakers were telling since morning. Education without value is of no use. End of education is perfection in humanity, right? So there is a saying, your work may be to only clean a railway crossing, but it is your duty to keep it clean, that no other crossing in the world is as clean as yours. Aapka kaam koi bhi ho sakta hai. You can be expert in anything. You can be a cobbler, you can be a scientist, you can be whatever it is. What's the impact that you are creating, and the impact that you are creating in the ecosystem should be positive, right? For that, the attitude should be good, right? The same guy, when he goes abroad, he's able to maintain the place. When he is coming back, people are spitting out in the roads. So it's all education that is going to govern basic discipline, ethics, values in the system. It's very much required.
So the introduction of the 0 period that we used to have should be a mandatory thing in today's education, right?
Very much. Be it then mental health, wellness. Someone who's referring to mental wellness. Mental health is an important thing. With so much of technology around you, with so much of information around you, you need not feed anything or teach about AI, anything, to the students. The students, you give them the syllabus, they will, gather information more than what is required. But the thing is, how to optimally use what is right, what is wrong. Where should you strike the balance? That is what is the role I foresee for teachers today. You need to course correct them towards the right direction, because they're already overwhelmed with so much of information that they are getting from the environment.
What's your idea of Viksit Bharat?
See, Viksit Bharat, while the timeline has been given 2047, we are going through a revolution today. Indian Army, well, I'm speaking on behalf of Indian Army, the Indian Armed Forces, as you are saying, modern day battlefield, that the way we are fighting battles are changing. If nation has to put its strength in all facets, be it economic, diplomacy, militarily, technologically, because everything is going to be curtailed tomorrow if we are not leapfrogging. We cannot be walking. We need to sprint and leapfrog, right? So I believe as stakeholders, we need to take a multi-fronted approach where all of us join together. We work together and contribute. And the timelines we should set for ourselves. At what pace, what should be inducted within the country, within the army, within the respective organization, how fast we can incorporate technology. All these timelines need to be set and we should march.
How do you see AI's implementation in the Indian Army?
Rather, I would suggest you, while people have been talking technology, Indian Army is one such progressive organization where we catch up even before things are being discussed. We have established center of excellence. Even I have worked on multiple AI-based projects. We have applied AI for intrusion detection. We have created integrated command stations. We have applied AI not just at the software level, but rather the hardware level. We have developed unmanned systems, unmanned mines. So I don't want to speak much of tactics here, which basically is pertaining into the classified domain. But what I would like to say is that a lot of potential is there for technology in the army. Anyone aspiring that you want to contribute for that, let me tell you, you must go to the Indian Army's website and you will be able to realize that Army is doing more in the technology domain. Whatever people are talking around, Indian Army is already doing. LLMs, we were talking about that. The DGIS, DG Information Systems, is establishing a large language modern pipeline for various aspects of and data handling for Indian Army. We are already doing it. So, and we have recently launched a internship program within the Army. So, if people have been following ADGPI, you would have seen many students are doing internship with us. They are put up in these center of excellences and given minor projects to work on. So it's an opportunity for students.
Anybody
interested,
can apply for that?
they can apply. The number of vacancies are limited. They are screened.
You should be a university student, right?
They should be. They can be a college student. They can be a school student. But the right set of skills are required.
So you must be, talking to students also as you work with IDEX very closely, young people out there. What kind of questions or what kind of doubts or what kind of things that people ask you that whether my project will be approved or not? Is there any kind of insecurity as far as the startups are concerned?
See, the government has done a lot of schemes for startups. While yes, there are many startups bubbling every day, the main aspect is that they have to understand the user before developing a technology. The user requirements are dynamic because we as Indian Army or Indian Armed Forces are diverse. We are unlike any other armies in the world which function in a typical environment. We have, if you see the climatic conditions that we have, from the western borders to the northeast to the high altitude region, we are diverse. Similarly, the kind of troops that we have, they are representing different region of this country. Different region, different people, different terrain. We are operating almost in all the climatic conditions, including the highest battlefield on earth that you can imagine. The technology that goes into each and every area is going to be different. The QRs are different. When I say QR, it means qualitative requirement, right? The uniform that you wear in a normal condition and in a desert condition or a high altitude condition is going to be different. So almost your body is getting acclimatized to all the different conditions. So that is the terrain we are fighting. So the technology also changes. The same drone which I am operating in Rajasthan cannot be directly operated in a high altitude condition. The battery goes off. You need to have, you have to conceal the complete system. You have to have different military standards for high altitude conditions, right? So all these need to be first understood by a research and development vertical. So that's why I said, why did I sit in IIT? To enable the R&D ecosystem to understand the actual user requirement. What is that we are looking? I am representing the soldier on ground. While I'm an innovator, so I was able to convert the technology into their, into the tactics for the army, as well as tactics into technology for the R&D verticals. That way, we were able to facilitate them.
So now we are open for questions. If any of the students out there want to ask some questions.
Good morning, sir.
Hi.
My question is that I have observed that our defense system talks a lot about the future as how we are growing, but what exactly is it doing currently to be more impactful in the current world politics?
See, as I said, there are different domains or different arms of any country. When I say arms, the pillar of support for every country. It starts from diplomacy to your resources, to your capability, your military capability, economic stability, right, and your diplomacy. So how are you managing all this? How are you putting your best foot forward, and how are you managing your capability effectively, and showing your strength? Strength comes with your capability, right? When you are powerful is not just that, in some areas you are having your capability, while today if you want to develop something from chip to system, you are dependent on some other country, and they say, after sanctions, that they say that they will not be contributing, they will not be, their trade routes are cut off, then you will not be able to produce that product, right? So everything is interlinked with each other. So if that's what is the mission of Viksit Bharat. If you are wanting to be the best in the world, you need to first enable your capability within.
Anyone else?
I went round the mighty sun 74 times. So why don't you give opportunities for senior citizens like us who are 70 plus, okay, to serve the army? It was my ambition, aspiration to work in the defense services, but I didn't get a chance. Why don't you give us a chance now to work at least for 1 month?
So salute to your thought, your offer to us, sir. Definitely, sir, it will be a great pleasure. The only thing, sir, Indian Army, while we are the fighting force, we are driven by a whole of nation approach, right? We alone don't fight, right? For us, for the last guy on Siachen glacier to have his food, the food is being supplied by some XYZ who is planting it somewhere else, right? Be it the clothes we wear, someone else is stitching it, the boots, the technology that is being developed by XYZ is being utilized by us. So it is a whole of nation approach. We are driven by the nation. We are representing the nation. So, sir, there's nothing like that. We are all representing you. You are driving us, right? So thanks, sir. Your generosity is great, and you're motivating, sir. Thank you.
Any more questions for anyone? So we have not spoken about DRDO's role in India. I mean, we are still procuring technologies from outside India. So what do you have to tell the audience about the DRDO's role?
See, what is happening is technology is leapfrogging at the pace which you cannot imagine. See, now we are at a point where technology we develop today might be relevant or not relevant in a few months down the lane. We were talking about swarm drones now, then we have got AI on the edge drones. With the recent attacks that you have seen in Russia, AI on the edge drones have taken importance. So every day technology is changing. DRDO was initially, the government entity to develop technologies. They were mandated for that, and they have done a really great job. That's how most of the missile systems have, we are having the best of the best, some of the best systems from DRDO. But the scale at which we want technology, we sooner realize that we need participation from the complete ecosystem. That's when these schemes were launched by the government of India, that beyond the OFBs and DRDO, we need massive scale of technology development and production. That's how the Department of Defense production was reformed, and then we have now got startups and industry playing with us. Rather than that, for technology development, we have the academia. We are sitting out there, right there in the IITs, And not just the IITs, we are handholding ecosystem of all the tier 2, tier 3 colleges in the environment. We are doing that.
So you have done your engineering. Uh, People at your age would be, working in MNCs and earning in triple figure or four times figure. Uh, how do you inspire the audience out here, especially the students, that, be with Indian Army?
Yeah, while I will be, because
And
I'm representing.
just to add this, how have you managed your parents?
Both my parents were working in the government. My dad was working for the electricity board as division engineer, and my mom was working for tank factory, for the ordnance factories. So they were very clear that you have whatever you do in life, you have to perform just like any typical parent of our times. They said, "Jo karna karo, but acha karo." What happened was like, see, the same thing you said, the IT boom happened during my time. In my college, almost like out of 500 students, 400 were taken out by TCS, Wipro and all these institutions. I used to ask, independent of their branches, a civil engineering guy was going to IT. He came to me with a chocolate. Hello. I asked, buddy, what are you going to do there? You have done your civil engineering and you're going to IT. So IT boom happened. Now, if you see down the lane, it is going to be a big threat because now chat GPTs have come. The actual manpower required for computing is going to get reduced. So I would rather recommend choose a domain, understand its progress, where it is leading to, create skill sets in that particular domain and become a domain expert. Right? That's going to take you a long way rather than just going with the wind. Today, aaj kahan ja raha hai? And core technology development. See, we have huge computing skills in the country, but we should have by now had an independent, indigenous OS like the Microsoft. Why couldn't we develop it? A question to be asked. We should be having our own
what
Windows.
needs to be done, according to you?
So this is where that's the entire vision of Atmanirbharta. Every individual sitting here, everyone, we have to imagine what can be our contribution for the national growth. It can be small, but cumulatively it is going to be massive, right? So when I did my BTech, then I wanted to go abroad. Then again I did my MTech here. So when the opportunity came that why don't I contribute myself for the Indian Army? And let me tell you, Indian Army has been great. The organization is so transformative. The kind of, apart from doing all this, whatever you want to do, you have a space for it. You want to participate in Olympics, you have to put your effort. The platform is there, the facilitation will be done, but then you have to take off. Like I took my path in research and development, and we are working hard for what we want to achieve. Similarly, we have a lot of domains, people contributing there. The kind of leadership that Indian Army, practices, we practice before preaching, right? The kind of troops that you have, amazing troops from different terrain, different locations you have, you get to interact with so much of diverse, people, and on your command they get to do anything that you want to, right? That kind of trust, leadership, you can find in Indian Army. And we believe in Sarv Dharm Sthal. Even we have all religions, we practice everything at a single place. So for us, that's overwhelming. You get to travel across the country, see the ground people, so that's something that you cannot get anywhere. And if again given a chance, I would join the Indian Army.
Indian Army is always considered as, a place where, rigorous training and so much thing. You are talking about engineering part of it, R&D part of it.
No, just to tell you, see, we have all gone through the training at the premier institutions like Indian Military Academy offers. We have other academies like the NDA, OTA. The training is grueling because we are commanding the best of the best troops. To command them, we need to be the best. So the training needs to be of that standard, right? That is number one. Number two, these problem statements that we are progressing through research and development has come from live incidents. Mine warfare, we have actually had huge number of casualties. I've developed some ID systems. Improvised explosive devices are a threat everywhere. So that has come from real problem statements where we have lost people. We need to develop something to, counter that. So that's how innovation innovation happens in the Indian Army out of real-time problem statements and the impact that it creates. Now the innovations, 4 innovations that I have inducted in the army, I don't know who is using it. Jawans across the country, sitting anywhere, they are using it on the trust that some officer of Indian Army has developed it, right? So which other organization gives you that kind of a satisfaction when a Jawan calls you and says, "Sir, आपका equipment हमारा unit में आ गया and we are using it."
Do you think the innovations have significantly helped the Indian Army to cut down on casualties or on basic infrastructure, if we talk about?
See, it is not about whether it has reduced the number of casualties. Definitely innovation. See, everyone today in the modern day conflict, modern day battlefield, they require to be innovative. They require to be transformative. Even be it the last Jawan who is standing there, he needs to do something according to the environmental conditions and the situation to counter the requirements, right? That happens there. So they need to do something. For example, today a drone attack happens. They need to immediately think what counter they can have at the tactical level, not at the strategic level, even at the tactical level, they have to think and they have to counter that. So innovation is something that Indian Army has been progressing for years since it has been in existence. So that is what drives Indian Army.
2047 is the benchmark for Viksit Bharat that we talk about. How do you see Indian Army and the innovation at 2047?
So we have a clear demarcated policy, a perspective plan, short-term perspective plan, long-term perspective plan, where we have to be, what are the focus areas, where are the niche domains we want to put our efforts into, and where we need to be. What we can develop, what we need the system to support, all that has been laid down and we are in the race. Whatever I have spelled to you today is all happening in the sidelines of where we need to go. So that is being done in a very focused, tight-scoped and outcome-driven manner.
How do you, summarize your whole thing for the students who are here, and how do you, inspire them that you should join Indian Army?
No, I will not inspire them, rather just to join Indian Army. Definitely Indian Army is a great place. They all know. I did not brief to them what Indian Army is, right? They all know. Whatever you do in life, do it great. Do it passionately. This is all that I will choose. Choose anything in life, but be the best in it. Whatever you can contribute, create an impact. You can be a doctor, create an impact there. You can make a startup, create an impact. That is all. That is what the nation demands and the nation deserves, right? Please do that. That is all that I would request. And school, the period that your school is something you are in school will never come back again. Now I want to go and spend the time or be with my friends in school days. It's not viable, or it's not possible now. So the time that you are getting in school and college, utilize the best out of it. Create expertise. During my BTech and MTech, one thing I did was every term break that I used to get, I used to go for in-plant trainings, internships. I used to go to diverse companies, understand what they are building, what their technology. You get a certificate, but that's fine. Certificates are fine. But the experience that you get working with the workers, see how a complete thermal power plant works, see how a battle tank is being manufactured by the ordnance factory. Try to please visit all these places, create experiences to establish your skill set. You need to do all this. So that is what is going to take you to the next stage.
But today's students are more focused on getting jobs. They want paid internships. What do you say about that?
So see, that's their perspective. I cannot comment on that. See,
No,
for
but
some money is important. For some, satisfaction is important. For some,
But don't you think experience matters more than anything else?
before someone demands what they want to, one should look within what is their capability and whether it is worth it. Right? That is something every company also looks at, whether the guy who is sitting on the other side of the table, whether he is worth what is asking for. So first, create your own skill set, create your profile, create your experience. That is what is going to take you further. Because the country demands lot of people to take risks at this time. When I say risk, in terms of establishing startups, in terms of getting to enterprises, in terms of joining the best services that power the nation. number of people joining the services today, armed forces, have subsequently increased. The vacancies are fixed and the number of people who desire to join. But whether they have the required skill set, the attributes, the qualities, because that's what SSB tests you, right? If you see the selection ratio of a service selection board, it is the best of the best comes in.
It was really nice talking to you, sir, and I hope your talk has inspired the students of tomorrow. And it was a very insightful discussion.
Thank you.
So
It's a
much.
pleasure
sir.
being part of
Thank you.
this session. Thank you.